Hello, welcome to a video. A fun and exciting video that is coming much later in the year than normal. This is my 150th book, which is usually like a fun little event because it's my reading goal every year, and so once I hit it, I'll usually do a scavenger hunt. Fun. We're killing two birds, one stone this time because I'm loosely sort of participating in the Reader's Gauntlet all year. This is a readathon similar to the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do by Q. That is Bailey's version, basically. So it's a little bit, I would say, easier, but it has a lot of prompts that I like, so we're doing it. And one of the things that it has is a scavenger hunt. So we're gonna go through this and kind of see how we do. I know what the prompts are vaguely, but I have not really premeditated anything. And the first prompt is to read a book with more pages than my last. I don't know what my last read was. The reason this is coming so late into the year is primarily just because I haven't been reading at the same pace as I normally would. I've slowed down. I feel like a lot of people are kind of slowing down, so it's not super abnormal. I feel like I started a little bit medium, kind of went crazy, and then kind of went low. Not that all of that matters. Safe to say, I've read 132 books at this current filming, but I've got plans to read a series that I still have like 10 books in, which is less intimidating than it sounds. But because of that, I want to get this video at least started now so that I'm able to think about it and I don't accidentally read my 150th and it's not eventful, you know? Anyways, the last book that I read was The Escape Game, and this comes at 423 pages. So anything more than 423. The book next to me comes in at 474, The Graceless Heart. At the moment of time, I haven't read this. Soon, I will. By the time you see this, hopefully I have. Alright, the next one is a book you've been putting off longer than the last. Oh, I've been putting this one off since I got the ARC in, I want to say like fall of 2025, but this was published, I think, January 2026. So anything that I've put off longer than the fall of last year. Okay, sure. What have I been putting off? Is it wrong? It's not wrong. I've been putting this off since September of 2022. So, moving on. A book with the same number of letters in the title. Oh, okay. So we're looking for 14 letters in the next title. That could be so many things. So close. Okay, lock in soon. Counting's not hard. You know what's so funny? I think I poll To Kill a Kingdom in almost every single scavenger hunt prompt that I do. I still have never read this. But I swear, it comes up every time. 14 letters. A book published more recent than the last. This was published a while ago. This was published in 2018. So that's pretty easy. I have so many new releases on my shelf. I literally have a stack of just new releases right here. So let's just grab one. A book added to your TBR more recently. Well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Okay, so it was a book published more recently than the last, and now the next prompt is a book added to my TBR most recently. I guess this kills two birds, one stone, 'cause sure. Okay, and then the next book that I need to grab is a different genre. So this is romantasy, I presume. I opened this in my latest unboxing if you're curious. So I guess I just need to pick a horror. Any horror? Does it matter? Let me look at the next prompt. Yeah, any horror. Okay. Also a new addition to the shelves. I finally picked up Headlights by CJ Lead. I may or may not talk the book club into reading this. I haven't really figured it out yet. There's a chance. But if not, I will be the guinea pig and I will read it first and then let them know whether or not it's worth it, because we're all pretty undecided. We loved Mayfly. Mayfly was fantastic, phenomenal, one of the best of the best. We did not really care for American Rapture, so I'm hesitant about going into this one, and it follows a cop, which I'm like, I don't know about that. Alright, the same color of the lettering as the last book. Okay, so we're looking for a book with yellow lettering. Nothing is immediately coming to mind. I feel like I have one yellow book, but it's more gold than it is like true yellow. I guess it kind of comes down, the problem that I have is a lot of it is like gold foiling, whereas this is like a true like neon yellow, and that's a little bit more unique. I mean, technically, those are pretty similar yellows, so I guess we're gonna go with Murder Road. And then we have our final prompt, which is a 5-star prediction with the same colors on the cover. So this is primarily, I would say, pink with yellow, and then there's a hint of green and blue, which is pretty rainbow-esque. This is my TBR card, you can't see it, of things that I either like need to be reading or will read soon. Not even a little bit. And away I go. This is gonna be hard. Okay, let me look at my pink books. I don't know if this is also really a 5-star prediction, but it's got like the pinks and blue, I guess. No yellow though, so it's not very close. This is hard. Okay, let's try this a different time. Both yellow colors. So let's see if we can get like a dark teal type of cover. I feel like I have a lot of those. Like this is predominantly a teal section. 5-star prediction is kind of the hard part. I'm not great at those. Perhaps not even a little bit close, but the spine is very teal. No, none of those. I think I've gotten close, and I think this is gonna be it. It's got the blacks, so it's still dark. It's got a similar shade of teal. This one's like a little bit more bright than this, but I think they're close enough. And you also have the added like gold foiling to kind of mimic the gold lettering. So, all said and done, Our Infinite Fates by Laura Steven. I've heard pretty mixed reviews about this, but if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I like the Fallen series, and this kind of gives me like a maybe more mature, more modern version of Fallen, because it's like two people destined to fall in love. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue meets This Is How You Lose the Time War. I wouldn't comp either of those to this book off first impressions, but this is a fantastical and epical love story that defines death as two souls reincarnate through the centuries. It's giving Fallen. Can remember, so that's different. She can remember past lives, but she's been murdered on her 18th birthday every year by some supernatural link. But she likes her life right now, and so she's gonna fight for it because she has a sister to take care of. And I think the guy who is hunting her is also the person that she falls in love with, which again feels very Fallen, cyclical. So here we have it. She's actually kind of small. I think this is the first book in a series. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to look into it when I finish. I've had this since March of 2025. And because of the pitch of it sounding kind of similar enough to Fallen, I've always been interested in it. And then reviews came in and they weren't so positive, and I was kind of nervous that I wasn't going to like it. And then I kind of just ignored it. So it's been on my TBR cart for quite a while of me saying like, I'm going to get to it. I also have a special edition, so I hope I like it because I have 2 copies, you know? But hopefully I love it. Let me give you an idea of these characters if you're curious. They're so cute. This is going to be my pick, and I'm actually rather excited for it. I'm excited to read something that's been on my shelf for a while that I've been interested in picking up. It's kind of the perfect book. Not too terribly long, not too intimidating. I'm sure I can get my hands on the audiobook for this pretty easily as well because it's not so new anymore. So, ta-da! Book number 150, the big 150. She's gonna be the one. I hope that I love this. I hope that it stands the test of time. I am nervous that I'm not going to like give it a full 5-star, but when I first knew of it, it was a 5-star prediction, and then I've kind of let influences lower it a little bit, but who knows, it might surprise me. They've loved each other 1,000 lifetimes. They killed each other in every one. It just sounds like it's gonna be so dramatic, and after just like, you know, finishing Fallen, it's probably the right time. Alrighty, so here we have the books of our journey, how we got here, and this is the path that we took. Overall, most of these books I actually have not read, all of them except for one. So nailed it, actually. But yeah, I'm excited to read all of these, but I'm most excited to get to Our Infinite Fates. And hopefully, by the time you've seen it, I've read at least these bottom 2. But we'll see, we'll see. The issue with doing a scavenger hunt where it's like, okay, I have to read my 150th, is now I'm at the point where I can only read my 150th, which means I can only read Our Infinite Fates, but I have to go to work. And so if I want to, I technically could start another audiobook and just like not finish it. I have one that's like 17 hours, so like could do that. Or watch BookTube or Critical Role all day. We'll see. But the issue is I don't want to go to work either because I just want to be home and play Fields of Mystria. And I can't play Fields of Mystria all weekend because I have so much to do. I'm crumbling. New obsession unlocked. It's Fields of Mystria, the cozy game everyone's obsessed with. And I'm being just like all the other girlies. But yeah, so I really want to physically or tandem read Our Infinite Fates. So I'm really struggling with like how I'm gonna juggle everything that needs to get done. Luckily it's not like super long, so it won't take me forever, but I'm in quite a pickle of what I'm gonna do at the office now for like 10 hours. Good lord. Good morning. I'm checking in now because I need to get my day started. I've had a very slow start to my Saturday and I need to get going. I'm wearing cat themed pimple patches. If it bothers you, I'm sorry. I'm having a lot of hormonal imbalance right now and I'm trying to figure it out, but the patches help me to not touch my face. so much. So if it bothers you, I'm hoping it'll go away soon. But let's talk about the book, because I've read the first 20-ish%. It's on Kindle Unlimited if you're interested. I needed something easy on my eyes. I've also been listening with the audiobooks. I'm tandem reading, and I'm liking it so far. It's kind of funny because I recently read Fallen, and this feels like a modern version of that. It feels more closely aligned to Passion, but it's kind of like a blend of the whole series into one. I believe that this is a standalone. We'll have to maybe double check me on that. But this is following not Evelyn, but Evelyn, which I will probably butcher time to come, but we're following Evelyn and Arden. But the twist of them is the prologue, we see them get married and then die. And then we are seeing multiple lives across many centuries and every 18 years. Basically, instead of a kiss killing them like it does in Fallen, they are killing each other. Like, they are battling one another like they are each other's assassins. And so usually it's Arden searching and seeking out Evelyn, and it's kind of her being like, I need to understand why he's doing this, like what the motive is. A lot of his tactics kind of switch up, where it's like sometimes he makes her fall in love with him and other times not. I have so many notes on this story already because so much has happened in such few pages. Truly, like it it all happens so fast. Like, it's a rather short book. It's a little over 300 pages, and the chapters are incredibly short. We're jumping back and forth between their past lives and what had happened to them, and then also modern 2022 Wales, where they're waiting for the day to come. She's like getting ready to turn 18. And so she's like searching for Arden and everybody, being like, when's he gonna pop up? I have a task to save my sister Gracie. We're doing a stem cell transfer to like keep Gracie alive because his family's just been tragedy after tragedy. And she's like, I need 2 more days. If I can make it to 18 and we can finish this transfer, my sister Gracie will be saved and then I can die. Like, that's all she wants. But she has not seen a sign of Arden. And there's this new blonde who she's like, this must be. But he's either playing the part really well, or it's a red herring that's for sure not Arden, and it's just like some guy, and Arden's gonna pop up and be like, haha, I'm someone else. But a lot is happening, and I'm actually really enjoying it. It's like a better written version of Fallen. It's a lot more modern. I think that the prose is really nice. It's not anything crazy, but it is like, I am bad at describing writing. I'm so sorry, but it's well written, but still simple. It's a young adult, and it's kind of nice having an author who's like writing good enough prose that makes you highlight things that make you go, ooh, that quote. There's one quote, I'm gonna butcher it, but it was like, floating in a pool of crimson, our hearts stopped beating as one. I actually think I might have nailed that. Actually, and it's not like a crazy line. There's nothing like insane about it, but it just like kind of hits in a good way where you're like, ooh, actually, yeah. One of the things that they say to each other all the time is like, I love you, I have loved you, I love you, and I will love you. That I might have butchered. The reason that I'm liking this more than Fallen, controversial, is because we see the prologue and then we see their romance early on, and so we're getting those flashbacks like right away. Like, it's literally the prologue, and then we're in El Salvador, and it's like a Romeo and Juliet assassination style scene, and then you've got Wales modern day, like where we currently are, and then we're seeing flashbacks to, there's some obscure countries that I don't actually know. It's Nurko, or the other, Russia was the big one. Like, that Russia was like a big point. But I want to say in an Asian country, but also I don't super know. I'll have to Google and I'll have correct information on the screen. But in this country, both women, which I find to be such an interesting twist. Like in Fallen, and I'm sorry I'm comparing them so much, but they are truly like very similar in premise. Lucy and Daniel are always the same in every world. Like, their names barely change and their faces are constantly ever the same. Like, nothing really drastic happens. Like, they fit whatever country they're in and whatever time period they're in, but it's still very much them. Whereas in this, they're reincarnated into like a different version every time. Like, in one timeline, they're both women, and it's not legal to be gay, and so they have to sneak around, and it's innocent because they're still young. But I find that to be a very interesting take, because I feel most authors would not be brave enough to have reincarnation in different sex, and I thought that was really nice. I'm not gonna like label this a queer book because of that, but it is nice that they are soulmates no matter what, like no matter gender, sex, time period, anything of the sort. Like, their hearts are one, and I just kind of like, I think that's kind of beautiful. I do think that's everything that I wanted to say. Again, it's been moving so fast, but I'm very interested in this blonde, I think his name is Suri, which is an interesting name, but I'm interested in what's going on with him. I am liking the Wales timeline so far, but again, like 20% in, so much has happened so fast. Like we are going through it. And so I'm trying to like keep everything straight the best that I can. But there was the Russia timeline where things really felt different, where they like dated for 4 years and he poisoned her. And as she was dying, he's like, no, I regret this. I want to take it back. Like I want us to live forever and like be together. And like, it's no, like, I made a mistake because they like had a breakthrough. And then like after that, it was like cut throat, like assassination. No love, not even knowing each other really until like the moment. So it seems like things are ramping up, which is important because this book obviously is going to need a large catalyst for some action to happen. But I do find it to be really interesting because the age of 8-ish is when memories start to come back, and she like can vividly remember like it's like 5 or 6 lives. Like she knows those ones very well, but remembering the really old ones from like thousands of years ago is like near impossible, because she explained that like trying to remember memories as a baby and how difficult that is for her. So she doesn't remember. Oh, and so I like that she doesn't super remember the deal that was made, and if it has to do, I'm assuming, with the prologue and like what was going on at their wedding. But I just kind of like that he seems complex. Like he seems like he wants to tell her but also needs to keep this a secret, but also doesn't want to kill her but also has to kill her, but they love each other in every life no matter what. And it's just kind of, it's a little bit more fascinating. I feel like it's moving in a bit faster pace, but I already feel like it's more romantic and that I already buy into their love story compared to Fallen, where Fallen I really struggled with why these characters should be together, because I thought Daniel kind of sucked the whole time. Like nothing about Daniel made me enjoy his character, and I did not like the way that he treated Lucinda, and so I was like, it's not very romantic, and this feels more romantic. So I think those are all my beginning thoughts. My goodness, I have so much to do today / this weekend, and one of the big projects is I'm planning to reorganize my bookshelves like entirely, which is massive project, but that is one that I really would like to get to. And so I have a little more than 3 hours left of this, or maybe a little less than 3 hours of this. So I will for sure get it done today, but I think my plan is to kind of like read for a little bit and then like take a break to reward myself with like a project, because I also want to film stuff. I want to get stuff done. I need to do dishes. I gotta be an adult this weekend. I've really spent like the last 2 weekends rotting on the couch watching YouTube, so I'm gonna try to not do that. And if I can accomplish the things that I need to do today and tomorrow, I can play Fields of Mystria, and that will be exciting for me as well. So those are kind of the big ticket items. I do need to like write down my to-do list so that I'm locked in for the day. It's like dishes, organize bookshelves, film TBR video. I think there's other things and I'm forgetting, which is not great, hence why I need a to-do list. So I think I really want to keep reading, which is a good problem to have. Like I want to pick this back up, but I also should probably start my day. We'll see. I feel like I'm gonna read a little bit more though. I have made further progress into our Infinite Fates. This is the Owl Crate Special Edition, which I wanted to show off because it's the 10,000 Years of You, which is the poetry book that Arden wrote when they were in Siberia. And it was many years later, like 2022, many years later, was published as like an unknown author, which is how Evelyn was able to actually read the poems for the first time ever. And I like that. I like that. It's a cute little detail. When I unboxed this, I had no clue what this had meant, but I'm really enjoying this so far. Like more, I don't want to say more than I expected, because I expected to like it, but I was hesitant that I wasn't going to love it because BookTube reviews specifically were not the most positive, but I do think like the overall reception to this book is pretty high. I haven't looked on Goodreads to see like what the average rating is and what people are saying about it, but I have seen on Pagebound what people are saying about it, and I would say that like majority are absolutely loving it, eating it up. And the other side of that are people DNFing or giving it 1 star. So it's definitely like, you know, a balanced book when it comes to reviews, because it seems like it's a mixed bag. But I'm actually really liking it. I really like these characters. I really like the overall premise. I like that there's a driving force for them in this timeline, but I will also say with that driving force, I don't quite understand. I don't quite get it. Okay, leaving where I left off. I'm about 200-ish pages into it, and I was correct about who Arden ended up being. I had a feeling, an inkling. I knew we were having a bit of a red herring, and I was correct. So that feels good just as like a reader's standpoint. I'm like, oh yeah, I knew that. But since that point, there's been a bit of misunderstanding with a different character. Therefore, there's somebody who knows more than anybody else ever has or probably should, and I think it's a lot for him to burden. But on the other side, big part of the 2022 Wales timeline is that Gracie is the younger sister who's like 14 or 15, confirmed to be lesbian, and she has cancer, and she needs specifically her sister, whose name I don't actually recall in this timeline, but her sister. Okay, this is about to get really confusing. So when I'm talking about Evelyn, I really should be using they, them pronouns, even though the book flip-flops depending on the timelines between she, he, and they. But there was a discussion where Evelyn was saying that she feels neither boy nor girl in either timeline, like none of them super resonate with her. They don't feel attached to either gender. Whereas Arden very specifically says that he prefers the timeline where he's a boy and he feels more male. And so Arden, he, him, even though the book they, them, him often. And then for Evelyn, probably they, she, just because the book often refers to her, she, her, but also they, them. It's very, lots of pronouns. I really appreciate it. I actually really enjoy the queer undertones of it all, of just it being a very fluid story, it just being about love and romance, it not having anything to do with anything else. Like, it's just whatever timeline they find each other and they love each other, and that's that. And I really do appreciate that. I think that's a very nice take that, again, not many people would do. With that said, the only person who can save Gracie would be Evelyn. They have the same cells, or however that transfer works. And so the date got pushed off because Gracie has an infection that needs chemotherapy treatment before they can do the transfer. But the transfer date has now moved past Evelyn's 18th birthday. So that's kind of the big issue. That took me a really long time to formulate. I'm sorry. My issue with that being is Arden is kind of on Gracie's side. Arden's I kind of didn't want to get close to you nor your family. I kind of wanted to keep a distance, similar to El Salvador. And because of Gracie, he got more involved. And I'm like, okay. But also because of Gracie, he's like, okay, let's make a deal. Let's try to push out our death as long as possible, but we'll still not be 18. And so they're trying to figure out a way to make all things happen, which, cool. Motive, something to strive for, something that has stakes, great. Why in this timeline is Gracie so special compared to all of the other families that we see? Obviously, they've lived a lot of, hardship and poverty and disease times where, it's the 1700s. Her parents die of smallpox. Yeah, that would happen. And so I really struggle with, why Gracie? She's not that special. There's nothing, crazy about her. I will say that because of the fast pace and the short length of this book, there is a bit of an issue, not so much with pacing, but getting to know the characters on a deep level, to really feel for them, to really root for them, to see yourself in them, anything of the sort. It's a little bit on arm's length, which I'm not really having an issue with, but I can see that being a problem for other readers just because it's happening so fast. And it's what do we know about Evelyn? She doesn't know why this curse has happened. She likes fashion in every timeline. She's really into fashion. She likes living the rich, lavish lives because she can do more fashiony things. She likes her sister in this timeline. She likes her sister in all of her timelines. And her dad seemingly always dies in a tragic way. I don't know if that's going to be important to the plot later, or if that's just something that's happening because it's maybe subconscious for the author. I don't know, but I've noticed that in most timelines, their father dies when she's young and seemingly in a tragic way, getting shot, getting run over. What's up with that? Why is it the dad always dying? Why does she always have a mom left? And whatever their sisters, it's usually sisters. I don't think there's been a brother yet. I just have questions. I have so many questions. If there's a point for that. We're not seeing a lot of Arden's past, to be honest. The only time Arden really comes up is when he appears in the timeline to either romance or kill Evelyn. And so I just have a lot of, I don't really know him very well, except for he loves poetry and literature and cares a lot about words and stuff. So his poetry book got published and they've both read it, and he's reread it, and he's they put the comma in the wrong spot, and that wasn't supposed to be a space, but they did it because I was running out of paper, and there's a lot of things that he has critiqued about it. He's how could they just sell and make money off of me when they don't even know who I was. So he's crashing out over this poetry book a little bit, and I kind of think it's really cute. But I really appreciate the dedication of, who is this author? Laura Stephen. Because Laura Stephen, although it's saying a lot of things anti-AI, talking about the harms of social media, is making good points from Evelyn's perspective without being preachy or making that a big point. It's just a quick little paragraph of this is my opinion and then moving on, which I appreciate. But I appreciate Laura Stephen also really committing to poetry, because often when we get a flashback to a previous period, we also get a poem that follows it. And I would say that I read a lot of books where the character enjoys poetry and writes poetry and there's no poetry in it, or it's not great. I'm not an expert on poetry. I can't really critique it. I can't really tell you like what's objectively good or bad. Like I know Mary Oliver, wherever her book is. Oh, I've lost her book. I understand that she's like an objectively like good poet. So I don't know if these poems are good, but I appreciate the dedication to writing them and they do something for me. Like I wouldn't say that this is like the most spectacular prose, but the prose is really working for me. I'm highlighting a lot of things and I'm enjoying a lot of lines. Like this is something I think a lot of people could take and put on Pinterest or Tumblr and be like, ooh, that quote really hits for us. Like it's just got a bit of angst and yearning to it, as I think all teen romances should, but I am liking it for that reason as well. So overall, I have very positive feelings towards this. I'm not quite feeling a 5-star, but it's like definitely a high 4-star. Like I'm really liking it. It's just hitting all of the spots. It's making me want to keep reading, and also just overall enjoying the experience. Even though I can also see, you know, a few flaws within it, I'm just having a good time, which is really exciting for me. I think also this might be the first book I'm picking up after a series of unfortunate events, because I just recently finished that series. And I did read a couple books in between those, but none of them were really good. One of them was really bad. And so I'm also just like, you know, I'm being fed with this because it's like good prose and I like the characters and I understand the motives and I'm curious about like the mystery and like what it means. That's where we're at for now. This was a long check-in. I feel like I did not compute words correctly, but I do have caffeine to get me through the rest of the day. Hopefully for the rest of the day, I will formulate a word better. Sentence structures. It's been a rough day. I'll be so for real. Tired. I'm tired. I think it's the sun. We had like such a gloomy day yesterday, and then today was like sun, heat. And I was like, okay, that's cool. That's fine. That's great. I love that. I really like the summer, and I am grieving the loss of summer already, which is a little bit silly. But that is kind of also the case. Like I am sad that summer will be ending. And I envy those in Australia who are going into spring, because as an adult, I have grown to love the spring. I love seeing nature bloom and come to life, and like the rebirth process of it all, which rebirth, that works. Anyways, I'm gonna go. I have less than 2 hours of reading to go for this book. I have not accomplished as much as I would have liked today, but I will get it done, and that's all that matters. I'm debating if I want to park myself into this chair or into the office chair. I have kind of accepted defeat for the weekend of like getting everything done as much as I'd wanted, because tomorrow I remembered is book club, and therefore I will have to dedicate about 6 hours of tomorrow to that. Therefore I probably won't get as much everything else done. Unless I get a lot more done tonight, I kind of just have to take the L on this weekend and hope for a productive Wednesday. This is why to-do lists are important, and I didn't end up doing that, so it's fine. I'm off. I've been chatting for too long. Goodbye. Another thing that I kind of wanted to discuss, because it feels, you know, important to the conversation of reaching my reading goal for the year. I love celebrating anything and everything. You might have seen the perfect hard-boiled egg. Like I peeled that thing like nothing else. The second one didn't go so well, but the first one went perfect. I like celebrating the small things. I like noticing the small things. That's something that I really pride myself with. Like I just really am an observant person, and I really like finding joy within small things. And I think that does have to do with the mental health, because so often I'm so in my head and I'm just constantly in a fight or flight state, and I just love stepping outside and out of my head and just acknowledging the world around me, because it's beautiful and I do like it. And so I do find that to be something I really enjoy. So having anything to celebrate, whether it be reaching my reading goal of 150 books in 1 year, which is a crazy amount. And the reason I can read so much is thank God for my job. My job allows me to listen to audiobooks because it's a lot of just data entry. I do bookkeeping primarily in the off season. And so I'm able to listen to audiobooks whilst I'm just, you know, looking at numbers and making sure things look good and sending reports, like emails and stuff. Like I can do that while listening to something really well. And that's a skill that I've had to work on over the years. And I'm able to listen at a faster speed because I took the first 2 years of my booktube channel, increasing my speed to from 1.25 all the way up to 2.75. That's where I'm most comfortable. But then I lower it when I have to, or when my attention is not so good. And I speed it up on a 3 if the narrator is slow as heck. And so that's a lot of things, but also just like prioritizing it within my life, just making sure that I make time on the weekends or in the evenings to read if that's what I want to do, but also giving myself time this year, especially for other hobbies. This year has been a very big year of change for me. And so I have been reading a lot slower this year. I've been dealing with different challenges and focusing on different things and setting new goals. And trying to figure out how I can do everything that I want in this life, and that's taken up more of my time this year. So normally I post the scavenger hunt in like the early summer, and this year it's come in late summer, and I'm not beating myself up over it. I know a lot of people are kind of slowing down with their reading. It's feeling a little bit less competitive. A lot of the conversations about like over consuming is, I think, helping. And I think just like as a society, we're kind of just coming to terms with different bouts of life, and right now it's just kind of slow living and acknowledging the beauty in life. And I like this era of time. As much as annoying as that might sound, or as cringe as it might be, but I like the direction social media is kind of headed in, and just like the overall desire for community and caring about the people around us and each other, and just wanting every human to live a good, happy life, safe. It's great. I think that's a good mindset for society to have. And also just like letting people exist in the world with grace, and not just like completely jumping down everybody's throats because they misspoke on accident. Like understanding that we're all human and that's okay. So yeah, I don't know. I'm in a very like reflective period this late summer, and I'm really enjoying that. But yeah, I just kind of want to touch on like, I've met my goal. I'm gonna read more after my goal, but also it's okay, whatever your goal is, to hit it late. It's okay if you can't hit your goal. There was a period of time where I was like, hey, it's not gonna happen this year. Like, I don't think I'm gonna hit 150. I ambitiously on like Pagebound set it to 200. I'm like, oh, that's for sure not gonna happen. Like, unless I really pop off. Booktober is returning this year, so that's going to have a lot of reading in it. So there's a chance that I will hit 200 still, just with the last 4 months of the year. But that's just because like I go crazy in the fall because like I'm inside more. It's icky outside in Oregon. Like, it's not fun. It's not cute. So I just think that there's potential, but also life throws curveballs at you. And if you don't hit a goal, it's okay. And if you need to pivot and adapt for what's going to work for you, do it. It's all good. It's not a competition with other people. Like, if you are having fun, if you are enjoying what you're reading, if you are consuming in a way that feels good to you, if you're retaining the information that you want to keep and just tossing out the ones you don't care about, that's great. And I think people in the reading community can be a little bit too online at times, especially like Threads and Instagram and TikTok, which I'm not on TikTok. I barely touch Threads. I honestly barely touch Bookstagram too. Like, I would like to be more active, but the algorithm just it's not good. So BookTube is like my bread and butter. Like, I love long form content. I like really getting to know the people that I'm watching. I like just really getting consumed with their day to day and their thoughts, and just like knowing their tastes better. I love that stuff. But you always see discourse, especially like we're coming up on the end of the year, and it's gonna be like, there's no way people can read 100 books in a year, and there's no way that these people are doing that, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, who cares? Do you like their content? Follow them, support them. If you don't like their content, unfollow them, and just like let it be. I'm not trying to get preachy, but it's just like, I'm gearing up for the conversations to happen, and I'm just hoping that this year maybe it'll be different. That's wishful thinking, I'm sure, but it would be really nice if some of the mindsets around other things will also just kind of bleed into the book community. And I just want more positivity, you know? I think that's enough rambles. I think I've said enough things that don't matter, and I'm just talking to talk. So anyways, I hit 3,000 subscribers literally this morning, which is like so crazy, so exciting. I've been doing BookTube for years now, and it's one of those things where I'm seeing steady and slow progress. The number goes up, and that makes me happy, but the number's not like skyrocketing up, and I'm content with that. I'm happy with that. Like, obviously everybody wants to be, you know, make it big and whatever, and I have goals and plans for future things and big projects that I hope to do someday, but like, I appreciate the slow growth of my channel and the people sticking around because they're interested in me or the things that I talk about in the books and the recommendations and whatnot. Like, I am very thankful. I will be starting a project hopefully today. After I finish our Infinite Threads, I can start my celebration for 3,000 subscribers. So that will be the next vlog that you get from me, probably next Sunday, because it's gonna take me a little while, but I'm very excited. And I'm just very thankful. So thank you. As again, I'm in a very like reflecting on my life and my goals and what I want. I know that BookTube is an outlet that I appreciate because I've made such incredible friends, and it's a way for me to share my passions and talk about things that I really care about with like-minded people. Because let me tell you, the people in my life don't read books like I do. I've gotten my coworker into reading, and it's like, it's not the same. But she is reading Fourth Wing because of me, and that's really fun. But I never imagined what YouTube would do for me when I started. It was like, I've always wanted to do it since I was probably in middle school. I was like, I want to be a YouTuber. I just love it. And now that I see it for what it is, it's like, yes, it's work, but it's also a creative outlet, and the community and the friends that I've made, truly life-changing. Like, there is no better part of life. The people that I've met, it's truly like the best thing that's ever happened to me. As like a very lonely, introverted person who does not have a lot of social life and friends in the real world, it's really special to have so many like-minded friends that I can chat books with and also just talk about my life with because of books. It's crazy, and I'm gonna start crying, so I'm not gonna keep talking about it, but I'm just so thankful for anyone who has watched a video, liked a video, and I'm sure I'll have the same fucking spiel in my next reading vlog, so deal with it. But I'm just very thankful, and I just really appreciate everybody who has been on this journey with me, and it's life-changing, and I understand why people love YouTube so much, and I really hope that YouTube as a platform will continue to support creators and not AI, and will do better as much as like Google Corporation can, I suppose. But I can only have hope for the future and for creators and this industry because it's so important to me. But I also understand that algorithms are the bane of all of our existence, and it makes social media hell sometimes. So anyways, I think that's all now. I think that's the final spiel. Thank you for listening to me yap. I will be back with my final thoughts on Our Infinite Fates when I finish the book. Ignore the bajillionth outfit change since I decided I'm just sitting good to read. I got comfy. So I will say that there was one person on Pagebound with spoilers, but at like the pre 50% mark, which is all that I had read up to, somebody had said that they wanted to DNF, but somebody else had made a review saying that the twist is so stupid that they wanted to keep reading to see what the twist was. I was tearing up with the, like, kind of, I guess, final goodbye between sisters, between Evelyn and Gracie. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep recording because, like, if I'm feeling the waterworks at this moment, not having a sibling, there's probably, like, a big thing coming. And I also knew from that review that we were going to get answers around like the 80% mark. It ended up being closer to like the 77% mark. If you're reading this, like, stick it out until then. Or if you hate this book and you want to DNF it, you want to like see what the thing is, it's around that mark. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't hate it. Like, it's not what I expected because I didn't really have any theories as to like why they were being reincarnated. So it's not like the biggest shock. It's not so stupid, but that's also coming from a girl who loves a paranormal romance. So it's like, whatever. But it's not what I expected. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm still figuring that out. I'm kind of like reeling from this truth, if you will. It's given us a new direction for the last 27% of this book. No, 17% of this book. Which I'm like, how are we going to do all of this in such a short period of time? I don't know how I feel about it. I really don't. It's like, it's not bad. It's not what I expected though. And I'm working through it. I'm processing still. I'm processing out loud to you at this current moment. It's not the twist I thought it was going to be. And I couldn't tell you what I wanted or expected it to be, but it wasn't this. And I don't hate it, but I don't like it either. I think. We'll see. I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to finish this. But I just wanted to give you like my real quick to explain my reactions. But I will say the chapter with the sister was a very touching moment of being like, I thought I was gonna die tonight, and I realized like we don't say I love you enough to each other, and I think we should all be telling each other we love each other more. So that hit me a little bit in the feels. So let's see if the rest of this hits me in the feels the same way. It's about to take I think a real wacky turn. Okay, I've officially finished Our Infinite Fates. I've got every copy here now. I have mixed feelings about the end. I want to say like the first 25%, incredible, slapped. Maybe not a perfect 5 stars because it still had some issues, like Arden constantly keeping the secret from her, even though I don't feel like it was that big of a deal. There's just like things happening so often that I was like, okay, not a perfect book. But then we get the big reveal And then we take a journey with said reveal. And that part kind of lost me. I think there were some really good lines and discussions in there and like hard-hitting quotes that you can pull out of this. Like if this book is read at the right time, I think it'll really hit for some people and resonate with a lot of people. And so for that, I really appreciate it. I think the prose are like bordering lyrical, and it does enough. It's saying enough. It's doing the right things. But it gets a little wacky, and I love a wacky book. So in theory, it should be perfect, but it just felt so out of place from the rest of the book. And especially because I really loved and adored the previous timeline stories, similar to why out of the 4 books, Passion is probably my favorite, just because we get to see so many historical events in past lives and the reincarnation of it all. Like, I really love that. And so for that reason, I'm like, those were the best parts. Wales 2022 like had a lot going for it and it was fine, but it was good. But it wasn't the reason I love this. I love this for the past timelines. So when we get to the like climax, I'm like, you kind of lost me. It's not my favorite degree, like it's not my favorite place to go, but it was fine still. Like I still enjoyed it. I still took moments away from it that I was like, ow, pain. And then I really enjoyed the epilogue, and then there was a bonus chapter and all of the things that I was just like, yeah, those were good. Those were good. I really like that. I love the epilogue. It's exactly what I hoped and expected it to be, and I loved everything about it. Obviously we're not going to get like perfect closure in a story like this, but I think it did what it needed to do and what it needed to point out to us, the reader, for us to care. I do think that there's a lot of emphasis on like Gracie being the best character ever, and I just don't get it. Like I think she's fine simply, and her being like the big deal, but like the whole thing of being like, Gracie's just so special, Gracie's like no other, Gracie's the reason for life. Sure, I guess I don't have that kind of relationship with my sister, but I don't know why Gracie of all siblings in this world is so special. But besides that reason that I just keep harping on for no reason, I did like it overall. A lot of it really resonated to me. A lot of it really touched me. I teared up in the goodbye scene in the hospital. I really liked a lot of this, and I think it was very well done. And I would definitely read more from this author. They had a 2026 release that is like a Picture of Dorian Gray retelling that's like kind of dark academia, horror, romance, thriller, and I just don't know if that one's going to be for me. But the 2027 release is all about, I think it feels kind of Romeo and Juliet style, but equally immortal. So I might pick up that one just because it sounds a little bit more closely aligned to this. But in the end, I liked it. I think I'm rating it like, in my heart, I want to give it like 4.5 because of the climax parts. Those like, what, 3 chapters? I like want to give it like a 4, but I don't feel like that's fair. I feel like I have to go based off my judgment of heart and how I feel towards it just as a whole piece of art rather than just like those annoying little bits. So I think I'm landing on a 4.5. I really liked this. I really did. I really liked the characters. Arden was annoying at times, but I still enjoyed so much of it. So yeah, after just finishing, usually how I rate my books is just the vibe of my feelings once it's done. And so I think with that, we're gonna end this on a 4.5, which is pretty solid. I really enjoyed this, and for it being my 150th book, I am glad that it worked out for me and that I liked it as much as I did. I think I've been missing some young adult romantasy in my life, so I'm really glad that I got to read this. I'm probably going to give this copy away just because I have a nice special edition to be my trophy, but I do honestly prefer this edition, if I'm being honest. I like this cover more, but I'm happy to have read it. I'm happy that I finally got to this. I've had this since it came out in 2025, so it's like, yes, go me, good job. So pleased with that, pleased with this video, pleased with the experience. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love doing a little scavenger hunt, so thank you, Bailey, for the Reader's Gauntlet version of scavenger hunt that I could do. I will probably do this again next year, so if you have any like scavenger hunt prompt ideas, I would love to take them because I will be doing this. So if I plan now, I'll have plenty of time. I think that's everything that I want to say. Thank you for watching this video and hanging out with me. If you made it to the end of the video, you can leave either an infinity emoji or like an hourglass emoji for the many lives that we got to experience in this tale. And that's gonna be it for me. Thank you for watching and hanging out with me. I will see you perhaps on Tuesday, if not for sure on Thursday for a normal upload. And then my 3000 special video celebration. Thank you guys again. So I will see you in the next video very soon. Have a great day. Goodbye.